Hey, this is Sarah. Welcome back to Asia Focus. I'm in my new house and ready to roll. You know, my inbox is open, Sarah at dailycryptonews.net, and would love to hear from you. Let's get started. We can't not talk about Hong Kong Bitcoin Spot ETF launch this week again, right? I can't get enough of the news flooding about this, and that got me thinking. And you'll see more of that bite in our this week's roundup. Anyways, I found this interesting article talking about what's going on in China with this ETF launch. The article discusses Chinese regulators might have cast a shadow over the excitement surrounding Hong Kong's ETF launch, particularly in light of the cautious stance of the China Securities Regulatory Commission (CSRC) regarding crypto investments. Despite global investor celebration over the launch of the Hong Kong ETF and surge in Bitcoin prices, and hush hush, of course, there was a very poor performance. But anyways, the Chinese authority is still very cautious about crypto assets. For example, Chai Feng-yi, an executive director at the CSRC, emphasized challenges facing the virtual asset market and stressed the need for comprehensive regulatory frameworks. The approval of virtual asset spot ETFs in Hong Kong represents a milestone, and they actually acknowledged it, but raises questions about the sustainability of enthusiasm given regulatory skepticism. Actually, these wordings are kind of similar to any government's skepticism and regulatory framework related criticism. But for those who aren't familiar with the way Chinese work, this news might be a little confusing. So if a country bans crypto or some assets, it's banned, right? But what's going on with Hong Kong that launched crypto ETF? Well, how did it get approved even? It really doesn't make sense. China is, in that sense, really good at kind of bending their own rule and let things be sometimes. They would never address the absurdity of their system in this way, but they will be passively trying to see how the market goes and go with the flow for some time until they figure stuff out. I think Hong Kong's Bitcoin Spot ETF launch also came from this kind of mentality. They know exactly what they have said about crypto, but they won't shut Hong Kong Bitcoin Spot ETF down according to the law they set some years ago. They will leave it and see how it does as long as it's in the government's control. I guess they saw the possibility of maybe foreign fund coming back into Chinese mainland economy. So maybe they thought that it will be a good chance to see if that theory works. Anyways, I'm super excited to see if the disappointing performance of $11 million inflow of ETF will have a chance to go up again. Upbit, a cryptocurrency exchange based in South Korea, is responsible for over 80% of the country's trading activity and has become among the world's leading 5 exchanges in terms of trading volume. Furthermore, according to Bloomberg report, Upbit's customers were responsible for nearly a fifth of the total deposits from its major banking partners last year. Imagine how much money they earned from this. The upcoming regulation set to be enforced in July under the Virtual Asset User Protection Act in Korea will impose strict requirements on crypto exchanges, including measures to increase reserves, enhance investor protection, and monitor suspicious transactions. And now, there are concerns from the fear that these regulations could cement Upbit's position as the undisputed sole leader in the Korean market. Basically, what the market players are saying is that the same thing is going to happen this year like last year. When there was a new law came to enforce for a crypto exchange license, almost all crypto exchanges in Korea closed down. I saw personally myself, one of my friends' cryptocurrency exchange had to shut down. Almost all, right? Now we are already in oligopoly mode. And to be honest, having 80% over 80% market share, other exchanges except Upbit look like they are just an accessory for not making Upbit look like a monopoly. This is one of the reasons why I'm using Bithum, not Upbit. And the industry landscape in Korea always been like this in some ways. The government trying to help the industry grow, but they don't know what to do, so they always need one player in the market to follow what the big father has to say. In this case, it's Upbit. So whatever new rules come out, Upbit will always be the priority from the government so that they could never fail. But also at the same time, Upbit will always get the first hand on how to implement the law, how to comply, which makes them eventually stronger in the market. On April 30th, Ripple announced a partnership with Hashkey Group, furthering its collaboration with financial services giant SBI Group. The joint venture with Hashkey DX, a Tokyo-based specialized consulting company of the Hashkey Group, aims to introduce XRP Ledger enterprise solution to the Japanese market. The deal is that Hashkey will deploy supply chain finance solution in Japan using XRP. A small introduction on SBI Group. We have heard about this group many times about Japanese crypto scene. Strategic Business Innovator Group, also known as SBI Holdings, is a Tokyo-based financial service company. The firm has a actually long-standing partnership with Ripple that dates back to 2017, and when it became the first remittance services provider in Japan to use XRP as the intermediary to transfer remittance funds from Japan to the Philippines. I think Ripple has a good strategy over these couple of years, even through bear market. I think they have always been kind of under the surface, not doing so much on the Web3 and this crypto craze, and working more under the water and focused on B2B blockchain solutions. Even in Europe, the rumor from my side has it that Ripple is working different firms like Deloitte for certain private blockchain solutions. So that's smart, right? And Ripple's native token XRP, on the other hand, did not react to the news and sitting at $0.52 as time of my writing at 6 a.m. EST. That's all for today.
And in other news, we started off with Sarah today. I know you missed me. Here I am. Crypto platform Friend.tech has launched its new native token alongside version 2 of its decentralized social media network. But so far, it's not going so well. Actually, it's going pretty shit, to be honest. Friend tokens were supposed to be airdropped to those captured in an April snapshot. Unfortunately, it appears that many of the users have struggled to claim their tokens. Friend.tech launched in August of 2023. It's a decentralized social network on the Ethereum Layer 2 scaling network base. It allows users to buy and sell keys that are linked to Twitter accounts. Basically, you are trading and hodling crypto influencers or Twitter influencers. But those who manage to claim their tokens aren't happy with the tanking price. When it launched and they claimed, it dumped 46%. From $2.78 to $1.49 in less than 4 hours. By the way, if you think that is bad, Friend.tech's native token drops something around, I don't know, from $169. and they just said that they're trading at $1.50 or $1.49. But holy shit coin. Tweets like this pretty much paint the picture of how everybody's feeling. Here we are, after version 2. App still looks like shit. It is slow as fuck after 8 months, and the only update we got was clubs. How does one fumble this bad? And here's my opinion, because you know it was coming. The crypto space is an interesting place because if you zoom out, it shows you a lot about different things. People's capabilities, people's desires, and so on and so forth. And so you have this ancestral kind of like dev network that moves to one project, pumps the coin, dumps it, becomes rich, moves to another project, pumps it and dumps it, becomes rich. They don't really care about the product. They don't care about what it's actually doing. They might like the ideas, but they basically create these ideas because they will be marketable and they can pump and dump or make something that will last 6 months and cash out all their tokens, become rich. Also, if you zoom out again and look at the business aptitude of all these people who are developing these different projects, it also tells you like people's capabilities in general. I mean, this is like a huge sample size. And so you have people who can build things, that's great, but people have no clue how to run a business, people that don't care to run a business, people that don't really care about how to test products and put out good products, and don't really know how to connect with communities and actually understand what they want. And I think that just shows you, and this is, like I said, a huge sample size of how hard it is to actually start a good business and the different skill sets you need to become successful. Yes, you might be able to be a good dev or a programmer or a coder. You might be good at marketing. You might actually be good at running a business. But if you don't have all of those things and a team that understands how to do all of those, then you're not going to be able to be very successful. Yes, you might be rich. Yes, you might be able to get a product out there. Yes, you might be able to pump and dump. But what you won't have is something that's long-lasting and sustainable. That's hard. That is very hard. And so I look at this as a huge sample size of just the different skill sets needed to make a successful business and how hard it actually is. So when you do see somebody with a successful business, understand that there's a lot of people that don't try to start it because they just know how hard it is. There's a lot of people who've started it and failed because they don't have the different skill sets to make that business grow. There's a lot of people who started it and are mildly successful because of luck and just, grinding the hell out of it. And then there are very, 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 very few people that encompasses all the skill sets, find the right people to make that business successful, and they're killing it. And then I think that you're seeing a mixture of greed, opportunistic people, and the actual realities of starting businesses that have good, long-lasting products. And all of that is here in this huge sample size, which we call the crypto space. What do you think of that? Matt at dailycryptonews.net. Elizabeth Warren. I can't get away from having a rant at the end of this, but let me tell you what's happening here. Senator Elizabeth Warren is sounding the alarm again about cryptocurrency. This time it's focused on cryptocurrency mining operations in Iran. She claims that they are financing Hamas and other terrorist groups around the world. In an open letter to the Biden administration, co-signed by Senator Angus King, Senator Warren asked the Secretary of Defense to combat Iran's evasion of U.S. and international sanctions through cryptocurrency mining. The letter continued to say that Iran legalized crypto mining in 2019. And in the 5 years, Iran has raised millions of dollars through mining crypto, a steady revenue source that allows them to purchase imports, move funds domestically and internationally, and fund Hamas and other terrorist organizations. This ongoing activity by the Iranian government threatens our national security. Mining for energy-intensive blockchains like Bitcoin can allow countries to monetize their energy resources, some of which cannot be exported due to sanctions. Unless we take actions now, Iran will continue to use crypto to fund attacks against Israel. And here's my rant, and you know it was coming. Here's my new thesis on Warren. She's going to run for president again, and she really needs to keep herself in the news, and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is a way to do that. And it's a great foundation to encompass a lot of platform terms, right? When she runs, she needs a platform. And so when we're talking about national security, when we're talking about anti-money laundering, when we're talking about terrorists, we're talking about transparency, when we're talking about drug trade, when we're talking about consumer protections, we're talking about, standing up for the little guy, when we're talking about eating the rich, all those things that she's been advocating for the past, whatever year, how many years, when it comes to cryptocurrency, can now be just flipped into a platform that says, look what I've been doing. And so I think that she's going to run for president again, and she needs to keep herself in the news and keep herself working towards something that she can just wrap into a platform that says, look at how I'm working for the people. And here's what's frustrating about all of this, is that Bitcoin was created as a way of combating a lot of these different things. If we're talking about terrorist financing, it's on chain. That's the point, right? When we're talking about inflation, it's deflationary. That's the point. When we're talking about store of value, there's a 21 million cap that apparently people are saying that it doesn't exist, even though we're going to have to wait 120 years to get to that. Long story short, it's deflationary. When you were talking about all the different ills of the world, we were talking about, inflation and store of value and printing money and corruption and terrorist financing. Bitcoin was created for the center of all of that. Satoshi Nakamoto was like, okay, so there's all these problems. The thing that connects all of these problems is the money. Let's try to fix the money. You don't have to like it. You don't have to adopt it. But it is an elegant solution. That's what frustrates me with government and politicians and in politics in general, is that there are solutions. And when I'm on the campaign trail, when I'm talking to people, I hear them wanting to create big, bold, nuanced solutions and actually get the thing done. And yes, there might be a difference of some opinion, but for the most part, the people want big, bold solutions that actually tackle the roots of these issues. And there is no government, there is no politician, and honestly, there's no political will to actually try to get this done. And it's really frustrating because there are elegant solutions. There are solutions to this. And it seems instead of embracing that and trying to figure out like, hey, is this a thing that we can move forward with? Is this something that we can really apply to a better tomorrow, a better future, a better money, a better country, a safer environment, less corrupt? It's attacked. And it's really frustrating. Anyway, that was my rant this morning. Let's get into those crypto prices.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk.
And the time is 9:38 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Fear greed is at 49. We're neutral, but we moved up from the 47 we were at yesterday. And that's because Bitcoin's at $61,553, up 5.5% in 24. We dropped around $57,000 Bitcoin. And then overnight, here we are. I told you, look, I don't know if the bottom is in yet. But what I will say is that when we go up, we are going to go up. So be prepared. Don't have your FOMO. You stack your sats. Not financial advice. But when we go up, watch out. Ethereum's at $3,050, up 2.8% in 24. Tether's number 3. Binance is at 577, up 3.3. And Solana's at 142, up 4.8. Running off the top 10, we have USDC, XRP, Dogecoin's up 6%, Toncoin's up, almost 13%, and Cardano is number 10, up around 2%. The total market cap is sitting at $2.27 trillion, a Bitcoin dominance of 53 and an ETH dominance of 16.1. And that was our show today. Sorry for my rants today. I was feeling it. Anyway, I'll see you to... Oh, no, please go to Substack. That's what it is. Not tomorrow. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. It's the weekend. But please go to Substack. Subscribe to Substack. We have our weekend review. It's posted on Substack. It's going to be there for paid subscribers. It'll be released to everybody next week for our weekend review between me and Sarah. I'll post it on Substack, and I'll start putting it in our podcast feed as well. So if you are a paid subscriber, you get access to that now, plus all my political ranting podcasts and extra content. And we're working on more shows and more content. Go over to Twitter, DCN Daily Crypto. That's at DCN Daily Crypto. And you're going to see some of that extra content there. Well, until Monday, or until you hear another podcast from us, happy hodling, everyone.